Jury selection began yesterday in the Lindsay Clancy case out of Plymouth, Massachusetts. But before we got to the actual jury selection portion, there was a couple of things, just housekeeping, that happened in the courtroom that I just want to tell you about. So first, the judge did rule that prosecutors may show the autopsy photos of the 3 Clancy children during the trial. Quote, the evidentiary value outweighs inflammatory effect. So we will see the autopsy photo. I think I mentioned yesterday the judge has already allowed Patrick Clancy's 911 call. Patrick Clancy is listed on both witness lists, so it's just a matter of however the trial is going, who decides to call him. It was revealed that there are almost 200 names between the 2 witness lists. Originally, it was supposed to be a 4 to 6 week trial. Now we're looking more like 8. And then this was a big one. The judge denied that 4 experts that were selected by the defense to be added to the witness list have to be ruled out. So they are an ER doctor named Michael Volfovich, a psychiatrist named Donald Conde, forensic scientist Peter Valentin, and forensic pathologist Elizabeth La Posada. If that name sounds familiar, she was a witness for Karen Reed. The prosecution argued that these 4 witnesses were added by the defense at the last minute, leaving the prosecution unprepared to cross-examine them should this happen. The judge excluded the witnesses for now, but he told the defense that they could be called later if testimony comes up during the trial that any of these 4 could make direct rebuttals for. Now, Monday began with 130 potential jurors in the pool. By lunchtime, they had successfully seated 2 jurors, 1 man, 1 woman, and 29 people had been excused. By the end of the day, 55 people had been questioned. There have been 5 jurors selected so far. We have 2 men and 3 women. And if you're new here or you don't understand the detail behind this case, the question here isn't whether she killed her children. She did, and she knows that, and she admitted that. The question is she criminally responsible for what she did? The prosecution says that it's premeditated, that she intentionally sent her husband out of the house and used that time to commit the murders of her 3 children and then tried to end her own life. The defense says she was not in her right frame of mind, that she was mentally ill and severely over-medicated. She had made several attempts to get help, and they all failed. She said that she was having auditory hallucinations and intrusive thoughts. She had severe insomnia. She made repeated visits to her primary care physician and the ER. And then here's the big hit. There's a number of health practitioners who prescribed her a series of medications. So here's the list. I've never taken any of these, so forgive me if I screw up the names. Prozac, Ambien, Remeron, Klonopin, Seroquel, Trazodone, Valium, and amitriptyline. I think I pronounced that right. And then, of course, they did not properly coordinate between the providers, so there was some that overlapped. The only thing I know about all these types of medications, especially the ones that are antidepressants, the one thing you're advised not to do is go cold turkey. Like once you start, you have to be slowly weaned off. She was prescribed all of these in less than 3 months, and they were taking her off of one and putting her on another. She had reported suicidal ideations and that she began hearing voices telling her that she wanted to die. Today, Lindsay is under constant supervision at Tewksbury Mental Hospital. She continues to struggle with her suicidal thoughts. In fact, every day she's on a suicide watch. She has to constantly be watched so she doesn't take her own life. She has to be transported 64 miles every day for court. She can't get the support she needs in a regular hospital and oftentimes has to be transported in specialized vehicles that can care for her should something go wrong. Today is the 2nd day of jury selection. I will be back to tell you more as I hear it.